Hi guys, Harvest here from DeiTerraFarms. Just kind of focusing here. Just me talking. I kind of wanted to share with you a little bit about where I'm at, where we're at physically, where I'm at in my brain, and just a lot, where we're going from here. So, if you don't know, my name is Harvest. This is DeiTerraFarms. We are a homesteading family, truly at heart a homesteading family, looking right now for our forever homestead. And so we are driving from Oregon to across the country to the East Coast in search of our forever homestead. And we started that journey May 6th. And are continuing on. We have about 2.5 weeks left before our time frame, our estimated time frame, is over for house hunting. Our journey will take us to North Carolina, and hopefully by then we will have made a decision on where we will land. Why am I making this video like this? Well, I just kind of wanted to share where I was emotionally in my brain, because I have a lot going on in my brain. So I have my tea and I have my notes so I don't get distracted, because I'm a wanderer with my brain, you guys. So I have my notes to kind of help me stay on track, or I will just go off on kind of like this adventure, go off in the tulies. Anyway, so we're in Alabama currently. We were in Florida. It was about a 5.5-ish hour drive from Alabama to here. I can't tell you how surprised I was how beautiful Alabama is. Just green, lush, some rolling hills, some really beautiful landscape and scenery, and how clean everything. The roads are beautiful. The roads are clean. I haven't seen an area right now so far that I don't like. Very, very interesting. And that housing is very, very affordable here. On top of that, I've met a lot of wonderful, nice people. So we'll see what this little jaunt brings forth, if anything. It's been a nice visit so far. I wanted to talk about this last week, my time in Florida. If you've seen any of our other videos, you'll see how much fun Florida was. That was like our true, there's been times on this journey where it felt like a true vacation, but this time in Florida it felt like we were the tourists, we were there on vacation, and we got to do vacation-y type things. So if you haven't seen them, I think I have 3 videos on Florida, and it was pretty great. We all had a great time. We had a couple of extras with us in Florida. We had my oldest daughter, Gabriella, and Murgy, who is Betty's mom, who is a very, very close friend of ours. We have known them for over 12 years, and they have grown to be just like some of the most significant people in our lives, just because, I was there when Betty was born and knew Murgy during her pregnancy, and all this. I just love their family so much, and they got to be here. Lily was back in Oregon for about 5 days, and so she flew in while we were in Florida, as well as Gabby left and Murgy left from Florida. So we were at the airport quite a bit. Murgy flew into Florida, Lily flew into Florida, Gabby flew out of Florida, Murgy then flew out of Florida. So we were just like at the airport probably 4 times. So it was a lot. The weather was beautiful. We had a couple of storms where the raindrops, were like this big, falling down, getting you completely soaked immediately, but it was fine. I was also very slow to publish videos because we were on vacation. We were enjoying, we were like soaking it up. I don't think we spent, like any time in the Airbnb, I felt like, I don't even think I sat on the couch. I mean, I sat in there was a little easy chair a couple times, but I really didn't have any time to sit because we were just doing activities, which is good and fun, and so that was awesome. On top of everything being so fantastic, it was also one of the hardest weeks for me. It was cool in that, like, I feel like we hit a lot of milestones. We're more than halfway over our trip. We're at the vacation part. We hit 10,000 miles on the van. But it was hard for me because it was a week of goodbyes. I didn't get real emotionally when I said goodbye the first couple times. You know, we kind of said goodbye to groups of people, some individual, but I was looking forward so much to all these visits with people that I didn't realize how hard it would be to say goodbye. Gabby and Mergie left both on the same day, different times, but on the same day. Gabby left really, really early in the morning. And that was harder on me than I expected. She was with us for 2 weeks, and that was a lot of fun. And I had all of my kids all together at one time. For the first time in like 7 to 8 months. It was great. I ate it up. Thought it was awesome. So hard to say goodbye. And then when Mergie left, again, I just was so heartsick because I kind of came to this weird realization that I want my bubble to move with me. I want my bubble to stay intact. The friends that I love and the fun that we've had, just my circle of influence. I want all of that to go with me. And it's hard for me to think that my bubble is also attached to other bubbles. And it's not so easy for them to just up and leave. I mean, I know that, but my heart wants something else. So it was really hard for me to say goodbye to them. I'm a little homesick. Not necessarily for my house. God did something fabulous in my heart so that I would not miss my house the same that maybe I would have a year ago or 2 years ago or whatever. I'm thankful that that process happened previously before we moved. And there's really not even a twinge of, oh, I wish we were still in our house. I'm okay with the fact that we moved out of that house. I loved that house. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely loved that house. But I'm not homesick for the building itself. I am homesick for my people. When Gabby and Mergie left and we were going, I could see Alabama in my future, not knowing what to expect in Alabama at all. I was faced with that unknown of, we're going into this unknown. First of all, we're done with vacation and I'm going into a state that I know nothing about. And so I feel like my, like, what is it going to be boring? Am I going to hate it? What are the people going to be like there? There's no excitement. I really felt like there was nothing for me personally to look forward to. As many of you know, Leah is with us, and her family lives here. Her dad and her grandma and aunts and uncles, they all live here in Alabama. So we purposed to be here so that she could spend time with them. And I wanted her to get in the time, so she's actually not staying with us here in the Airbnb this week at all. I think she spent one night. This whole rest of the time she'll be with them, and I think that's awesome. We had a dinner with them, and that was fun. I got to meet all of them, and they're just wonderful. But other than that reunion for her and that chance for us to meet them, I didn't see anything here. And I think coupled with the fact that I am anxious, I'm anxious to get my hands dirty. I've been feeling the pull for a couple of weeks now to get my hands dirty, and you know, the summer's gone by and I haven't planted anything. It's made me homesick for the gardening that I had, for my chickens, for my animals. It's made me anxious to get started with that. And we've been looking at houses and properties and so on. And I know what I want. I know what I want in a property. So I follow Justin Rhodes' YouTube channel. I'm subscribed, and I love his stuff. If you are at all into homesteading or permaculture or whatever, follow Justin Rhodes if you don't already, because his stuff is awesome. Anyway, he has a new thing that he's rolled out called Abundance Plus, and it is a lot of the videos that you won't see on the YouTube channel. And you know, I paid the premium so that I could be involved in it, and because it's good information, and there's master classes and things like that. And so I started, once I became a member of that, I started watching the master classes, and that has helped my heart because I'm preparing. I'm, you know, like Jessica Seward says, you turn your waiting room into a classroom, and in a sense, this is my waiting room. So I'm learning as much as I can so that when I get there, even if I don't retain it all, I have an idea and I know where to look for it when I need it again. And so I've been doing that. That also makes it really difficult for me to stay patient. Another thing that kind of got my whole, like, it started our Alabama trip off like on a negative note was right before we left Florida, my mom's car broke down and we had to leave her behind. We had to leave her there in a little motel while her car got worked on, and we left on a Sunday, so we didn't even know if we could find a mechanic. And it was just all of these things. I just felt like I could feel the well of anxiety just building. Back when we started all of this, the thought processes of moving, are we going to move? How will it work? What about finances? What about this? What about that? I actually started practicing not being anxious. So this whole buildup of emotion and everything this last week was new for me. I mean, it just like hit me out of the, like a punch in the face. And so God likes to work in different ways with me, and I wanted to kind of share with you how he worked with me. Many of you know I homeschool my kids, and much to the dismay of my children, we homeschool during the summer. So my poor children, they never get a break. But we also do, we don't do it for very long every day, maybe an hour, sometimes it's 20 minutes. It's not much. They get the experience of life, and they get the experience of, at this point, traveling. But they also, we do a lot of Bible stuff together. And one of the things that I do is from a curriculum, actually it's from a very old friend of mine. Her name is Heather McMillan. She created this little thing called We Choose Virtues. We've been doing this for about a year now, maybe more. But here, I'll show you this little piece right here. We Choose Virtues. And these are parenting cards that I have. And they are biblical studies on virtues in kids. And anyway, one of the virtues that we're doing this week is patience. Isn't that funny? Actually, this whole month, July is the patience month for us. Every month I am focusing on a different virtue, not only with the kids, but the whole family, so that we all can work on something together. Because it's one thing, I've got adult children. It's one thing to work on it with the little kids and then have a big kid not display that. Just because life for them and them still learning how to be people. good people. And so we proclaim it to everyone in the house. We're learning patience this month. Here's the scriptures. Everybody needs to know that we're working on this with the kids. So, you know, you have the opportunity to work on it within your own heart and self. So when a little one comes to a big one and says, that's not very patient of you, they don't like take it offensively. They can say, oh, you know, we're working on that together. Anyway, all of that to say, that is something that really, obviously, if it's what we're working on this month, then, and all of those emotions hit me last week of being anxious and worrying and all of that. It was just God was just really speaking to me. He really came in and started speaking to me through what I was researching for this topic. And so this is as much an encouragement for me as it is for you, and I hope that you hear my heart in that I hope that no matter what you're going through in life, especially the virtues, there is encouragement and hope out there, and I hope that I can share that with you. So I'm going to share with you just a little bit about being patient and what that's being taught to me right at this moment. So this is Adrian's patient card, and of course y'all know he's 7 years old, so he's using this one, and it's, I am patient, I wait and wait and wait with a smile. That's hard to do. And it has a little antonym at the bottom. It says, I am not pushy or controlling, and I don't get frustrated or bored when others are slow. They also have patience for tweens and teens, and theirs speaks a little differently. It says, I am patient. I remove pressure from others by graciously waiting. I am not rushed, pushy, or controlling, and I don't get frustrated or bored when others are slow. It says basically the same thing, but a little bit different for a kiddo. And then it references Proverbs 14:29. Anyone who is patient has great understanding, but anyone who gets angry quickly shows how foolish he is. I was reading through and just kind of doing some research on patience, and we teach the kids how to be patient with others. But in my research, I was noticing how there is a lot of scripture talking about being patient with God and the plans that He has, and me being patient. And I know that, you know, if you're a Christian and you believe in God, then you know that there's a lot of scriptures out there that talk about being patient with God and His plans unfolding and things like that. But that was really what I needed to hear, just because it reminded me of how I had purposed in my heart originally when we first started this whole crazy idea that I wasn't going to worry. I wasn't going to worry about money because God has laid all of this out. He's got it in His hands. I'm completely submitted to His authority. So He's got it. So when He says, don't worry about this, be patient, rest in me, I can do that. And I was just kind of humbled and in awe of the fact that what I'm going through, even though, you know, I might think, oh, this is what I'm teaching my kids, and so it's just their Bible stuff, and it's really, I always find that I may have thought it was a random lesson, but God had another plan for me. And obviously, I mean, none of us are ever done being patient. Patience is a lifelong lesson in waiting for meeting with Him, you know, and worshiping Him someday. And so for me, I'm just so thankful that He can meet me right here, right now, where I am in Alabama, in this cute little house that we have. So anyway, I am patient. I wait and wait and wait with a smile. Does that mean I am inactive, not pursuing what needs to be pursued? No, I am actively pursuing and actively activating my faith. Because I know that in 2.5 weeks, there needs to be a decision made. And so I can't wait to share with you guys what's going to happen in a couple of weeks. Because I think that we'll have some great news to share. And I know that for me is encouraging. And so just because my hands aren't dirty now, doesn't mean they won't get dirty real soon. And then a whole new set of, I want to say trials, but a whole new set of obstacles and challenges and victories are on the horizon. And I'm really excited about that. So, yeah. I think I did pretty good on my notes. I didn't stray too much. I actually did good. And I can't wait. In just a few weeks, we'll get to share with you the journey of getting a house, getting our stuff, unpacking, and then building our homestead. I'm really excited. So, with that, I hope you guys are encouraged. I hope you guys know that we are so thankful for you. And the prayers that you're sending and the thoughts and comments and messages, we really, really love that. So thank you. So, blessings, and we will see you real soon. Bye.